Ever wondered how you can take some simple chords and turn them into stunning masterpieces? If so, watch through to see how that's done. Hey everyone, it's Nicole here from Bochiknot Macrame, and I am super excited to be sharing with you our latest pattern tutorial. It is a flower coaster pattern, but what makes this one special is the little stem with a little leaf at the bottom. I think the little stem and leaf at the bottom of the flower gives it a special touch, and it's such a fun pattern and design that you want to make so many of so that you can have many of them laying around in your home. I will be going through the entire pattern in a lot of detail so that hopefully you'll be able to follow along and make a few yourself. And with that said, let's jump right in. For this pattern, really you only need macrame cord in 3 different colors, as well as a crochet hook to tuck in the ends. The cord I'll be using for this pattern is a 4mm braided cord from our rainbow cord line. And we will be using the colors Tuscan, Natural, and Sea Green. What makes this braided cord a little bit different is that there isn't an extra strand inside the hollow part of the braided cord, which means when you make the knots, they come off a little bit skinnier and smaller once the knots are made than your typical single strand or 3-ply 4mm cord. So for the cord lengths that I had listed in the beginning, if you're using 3mm single strand, 3mm 3-ply, or 4mm braided cord that's hollow on the inside, those cord lengths will work perfect for that. Otherwise, if you are using 4mm single strand or braided, I would up the cord lengths a little bit. Firstly, we are going to take a strand of color number 2 cord. So I'm using the Tuscan colored cord as color number 2. And you'll need a strand of cord at 120 centimeters long, and we're going to pin or tape that down horizontally. This is going to be the anchor cord for the flower itself. Then we're going to take a strand of color number 1 cord, so our natural color cord, at 320 centimeters long. Folded in half, we're going to make a reverse lark's head knot in the center of the horizontal anchor cord. If you look at the back side of the knot, you'll see the front-facing lark's head knot. What we're going to do is add a few vertical lark's head knots on both sides. So taking the right end, we're going to loop it to the front, over top, and then through to the back again. And then we're going to take it underneath and through to the back to finish the vertical lark's head knot to the right. Then we're going to take the left end and make a vertical lark's head knot to the left. So we're going to take the left end over and then under and through the loop to the back. Then take the cord end under and through the loop to the back. And then now what we're going to do is repeat for one more vertical lark's head knot on both sides. So once we have completed the extra vertical lark's head knot on both sides, you should have what looks like a row of 5 lark's head knots. Now we are ready to seal this very first flower petal. What we're going to do is we're going to fold this pattern over. Make sure that the anchor cord ends are even. If not, adjust them so that they are even. And then we're going to place the anchor cords together facing the left side. And we're just going to pin or tape those horizontal cords down. Then taking a strand of color number 1 cord at 130 centimeters long, we are going to make 2 double half hitch knots onto the 2 horizontal anchor cords. So take the bottom end over the left side and then take it back to the right and then pull it through the loop. But before we fully tighten, make sure that the bottom end is approximately 2 inches longer than the top end. Then pull on the cords to tighten this first double half hitch knot. And then with the slightly longer bottom end, we're going to make a double half hitch knot onto the bottom anchor cord. So make sure before you start on the double half hitch knot, bring the working cord underneath the anchor cord. We're going to make this double half hitch knot nice and tight against the top double half hitch knot so that a petal forms nicely on the side. So taking that bottom vertical cord, make a double half hitch knot. Make sure that the first half hitch knot we make is nice and tight before we make the second half hitch knot. So bring it over the anchor cord and through the right loop. Then make sure you only pull on the working cord to tighten, making sure that the anchor cord just stays on the inside. Then once done, you'll see a little curved pattern on the sides. And then now for this second part, this is the inner part of the flower, we're going to take a strand of color number 2 cord at 130 centimeters long and repeat the exact same thing we just did with the color number 1 cord for a double half hitch knot on the top anchor cord and a double half hitch knot on the bottom anchor cord. And we are now complete with our first flower petal. The rest of the flower petals are going to follow a similar pattern. I'm going to walk you through one more petal on the right side and then one more petal on the left side, because the petal we just completed is what we're going to call the middle petal. So it's the first petal, and now we're going to make 4 petals on both sides. So starting off with the first petal on the right side, take the anchor cord over to the right, and we're going to make 2 double half hitch knots to the right. Now this is the part that might get a little tricky. We're going to take that third working cord and now we're going to make 5 consecutive vertical lark set knots. So taking the cord above and through the right loop, go under and through the right loop, and now this is our first vertical lark set knots, and now we're going to make 4 more. Once we have completed all 5 vertical lark set knots, bring the anchor cord over to the left, and now we're going to make 2 double half hitch knots to the left to finish off this second petal. So now we are complete with our first flower petal on the right side. Take the anchor cord back over and repeat for 3 more of these petals to the right. As you can see now, the flower coaster is starting to form. We are now going to make 4 flower petals on the left side. So following the exact same pattern but on the opposite side now, take that left anchor cord over to the left for 2 double half hitch knots. Now with the third working cord, we're going to make 5 consecutive vertical lark set knots. Then take the anchor cord over to the right for 2 double half hitch knots to the right. And we have now completed our flower petal on the left side. What we're going to do is repeat for 3 more of these flower petals to the left. Once all of the flower petals are complete, this is what the flower should look like. You should have a secondary color in the center of the flower and then our primary color on the outside. Now, if you want, you can stop right here. If you don't like the stem, you can cut off the excess cord ends here and just glue the sides together to form a round flower coaster if you'd like. But for this next part, we're going to add a 3rd color to form the stem. So for this next part, we're going to make a leaf first, taking a strand of color number 3 cord, and I'm using the sea green color. We're going to use a 30 centimeter long cord as the anchor cord and a 50 centimeter long cord as the working cord for 5 vertical lark's head knots. So I'm holding right now the working cord, which is longer, the 50 centimeter long cord, placing it horizontal on one end at the top. Then taking the longer end, I'm going to bring it underneath and through to the side. You should have about 2.5 inches of space left over on both cord ends at the top. Then take the cord end underneath and above and through the loop. This is our first vertical lark's head knot, and now we're going to make 4 more underneath. Once done, this is what the pattern should look like. Pull on the anchor cord so that the anchor cord ends are even on both sides. And what we're going to do is fold the pattern over, similar to the flower petal that we had made. And we're going to be attaching this leaf pattern with the stem. So to start the stem, we're going to take a 100 centimeter long cord, and we're going to make a square knot onto the middle 4 cords of the coaster. So underneath the flower, take the middle 4 cords in the center as anchor cords. Then find the middle spot of the working cord. And now we're going to make a square knot. So take the left end over to the right, right end to the back for the first half knot. And then finish with an opposite half knot for the square knot. So the first square knot is complete, And all you have to do is pull on the anchor cords to slide the square knot up to the top. We're now going to repeat for one more square knot with the same anchor cords here. Now for the next square knot, we're going to include all of the cords from the flower as anchor cords. Add one more square knot with all of the anchor cords in the middle. And now we're ready to add the leaf onto the stem. What we're going to do is, with the right side of the leaf, we're going to put those two cord ends at the front on the right side, and then the left ends of the leaf to the back. So this part is a little bit tricky because you do have to hold on to the back cords and the front cords while making the square knot with the stem working cords. All of the cords from the leaf are a part of the anchor cord group now. So as you can see from the front, the leaf cords are a part of the anchor cord group, and same with the cords at the back. It's okay if there is a little bit of loose cords here. We can pull on the anchor cords after that to tighten everything up. So what we're going to do underneath the leaf is make a square knot, then we're going to make 2 more square knots after that, for a total of 3 square knots after the leaf. And then last but not least, we're going to tuck the working cord ends through to the back. But before I do that, I'm going to cut off all of the excess anchor cord ends first. You can tuck the cord ends at the back first and then cut off the excess cord ends if you like. The particular order of doing this is flexible. So now, using a crochet hook or a weaving needle, I'm going to take both ends and I'm going to weave them through the square knots at the back. I'll likely weave them through 2 square knots at the back for both ends for extra security, and then we're going to snip the excess off. And we are now complete with this cute little flower coaster. That's a wrap with our flower coaster pattern. I really hope you guys enjoyed making this fun and unique coaster pattern. This pattern could be a little tricky if you're not well versed with the vertical lark set knot or double half hitch knot yet, and that's why if you pull through and finish this pattern, you are already one step closer to mastering macrame. If you guys enjoy the knotting techniques within this pattern, you may be interested in learning other intricate knotting techniques that we go over on our exclusive community over on Patreon. This month we are going over 3D macrame projects, just like this macrame hydrangea bunch that I recently made. If you guys are interested in learning more, head on over to patreon.com/Bochiknot for more details. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more macrame tutorials, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.